Hey, this is Jack Russell from Jack Russell's Great White. You're listening to Backstage Access, where the real show begins.
This is Chris with Backstage Access, and we have Jack Russell of Jack Russell's Great White with us here today to talk about his brand new album. Hello, Jack. Welcome to Backstage Access. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. I'm just sitting here in Southern California on the back of my boat and enjoying the sunshine, and yeah, life is good. The record came out today, so it's a good day.
Awesome. So let's talk about the new record. He Saw It Coming. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, I mean, it's definitely not a rehash version of Great White. I really think it's something special. I believe it's a great collection of songs. The record, itself is, it's not really a theme. It's not really a concept. I mean, of course, the title track is. The title track is about, a really the most pivotal moment in my life is when I was 6 years old and my parents bought me the Beatles Hell album for my birthday. And I just put it on, and I just knew at that moment that was what I was going to do for a living. I knew it. It wasn't like I hoped, dreamed, wished, thought. I knew it, and it was really an intense moment for a 6-year-old kid to digest that.
Sure.
And yeah, it still makes me shiver. It gives me chills when I think about that. And prior to that, I wanted to be an archaeologist, and now I'm a dinosaur. Yeah. So, it's just a really great album. I think so. I don't know if you've heard it or not. What do you think of it?
Yes, absolutely. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Now, the title, let's talk about that, because I think it was originally going to be called The Gauntlet. What changed over the course of time there?
Yeah, the Gauntlet was just a poke at my past band, because they stabbed at me with their Elation album,
Right.
It's like, doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what that meant, It was like, okay, all right, a kick in the butt, and a slap in the face. But, I was going to call it The Gauntlet, like, okay, let's throw down the gauntlet, let's make a challenge, and I thought, that's just so juvenile. I don't want to go down that road. Right. It's not what this record's about. This record's not about that. It's about my vision of my life, and then how my life has, been everything that I've focused on. Has happened in my life. Right. Everything. I sat in my back room listening to this Toys in the Attic and pretending Steven Tyler and I were friends. I was talking to him on the phone. And one day there I was talking to my friend Steven Tyler on the phone. And I'm like, wow, man, it's just all about visualization and positive thinking, if you will. I believe you can manifest anything if you want. And I have. I've proven it in my life, good and bad.
Right.
I've, made stuff happen that has affected me physically, permanently. And that was all through my own doing, And so, you can, bring good things into your life or bring bad things. It depends on, what you're thinking about.
Right. Now tell us a little bit about the rest of the band. Who's on board for this record, and how did that all come together?
Well, I didn't... The people in the band listed, Robbie Lochner is on guitar, lead guitar. He's my co-writer, mostly. There's a couple songs that, were written with some other people in the band. My wife actually was a co-author on one of them.
Okay.
The band actually is made up of Robbie Lochner on guitar, Dan McNee on bass, Dickie Fleazar on the drums, and Tony Montana on the lead guitar and rhythm guitar and keyboards and harmonica.
Okay.
So, my guitarists switch off playing. They switch off solos with each other. So it's great to have two guys that can do solos because it makes it more interesting, I think, to watch. It's not always the same guy playing the leads. It's like, well, yeah, that guy's playing it now, It's really neat. I like it.
Okay.
So I knew that, I've been waiting for a long time to put a record out. And I was waiting for one reason, and that was to have the band that I knew was the band than I was waiting for. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Sure. No, absolutely.
And when Dan McNay got into the band, I knew that this was the band that I was supposed to be recording with. And I said to my manager, I said, okay, get us a record deal. We're ready to start rolling. So he went out and did, and then we started recording. And about 5 months later, we had a record. You know, it took a while because we didn't have a month to dedicate to recording. We were touring, which I think really actually worked out for the best now that I think about it, because it gave us the opportunity to live with the songs a bit, as we wrote them, and go, you know what, I want to change this part. I don't like this part. So it gave us the time to kind of sit with things and make sure they were exactly what we wanted. So that was very helpful.
Okay. So now I know that you go back a long way with Tony. Now the other guys, so it was more like an instant kind of chemistry when you got together and you decided, yeah, these are the guys that are going to work for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's never instant because you don't know a person. That's why I've gone through, a lot of people since the inception of this band.
Right.
I don't mean like 20 or 10 or something like that, but I mean, several, if not, I think maybe 3 or 4 or something like that.
Okay.
But that's quite a bit in 5 years.
Sure.
I mean, it was, to me, it's like you don't know somebody until you travel with them, they say, That's how you really get to know somebody. And, being in a band's the same way. Person might seem like they're the coolest person in the world, then, you start playing with them, and it's like, this guy's a jerk, or there's an attitude I didn't realize, or, this guy doesn't have the same belief system that we all of us have, and, so if they didn't fit or they weren't good enough, they got booed, and, when I finally put this together, I realized, like, as I said, that this was the right band. And it took a while, because I had to try on. It's like going clothes shopping, You might see a pair of pants, those look so great, man. You put them on, and they just don't fit.
Right.
And you go, well, if I could just get them taken in and, lift this part out and, tighten this up and making that into a lace up. And, it's like, God, just get a pair of pants like that,
Right.
So, if you're trying to fit people into your mold, just go find a person that's already in that, So that's what I did. I just waited around until the right people came along. I knew they would. I was just putting that energy out there, and when it finally came to fruition, it was like, okay, yahoo.
Now, you mentioned Robbie was a co-writer, so take us into the writing process for this album and how that all worked out.
Well, the way Robbie and I write is, it's like this. It's kind of the same way that Kendall and I worked, Like, sometimes I'll come up with a musical idea, and I don't play, so I can't pick a guitar and go, okay, this is how it goes. I gotta kind of do okay, like this, or whatever, right?
Right.
And they have to take that and figure out the chords
okay.
that coincide with it. And there's a multitude of chords for every note I just sang.
Sure.
So, because you can't hum a chord, I've only got one pair of vocal cords. I can only do one note at a time, So, Robbie has a knack of knowing right away what chord I'm looking for. It's really weird, because sometimes I'm thinking of a really off-color thing, but yeah, I can't hum that, but, he understands where I'm going. And so we work really well together. We generally do that, or he'll write a riff, and I'll put the melodies and lyric to it, or he'll write a riff and a melody and some lyrics, and we'll work on that. It's very much back and forth. It's definitely a collaboration. It's not like I wrote every single word on the record and wrote every single melody line, nor did he write every musical part. It was really a collaborative effort, more than I've ever done. which I think really, enhanced the writing, because he's seriously a musical genius, and I say that with no pun whatsoever. I mean that literally. The guy's, really theory trained, but he's street smart, in a musical way. And the most important thing, I think, is when you got a guitar player that can play really fast, is to know when not to play.
Right.
And that's a talent in and of itself. And he has that ability where he knows when not to play, and he also knows when it's time to turn on the gas. It's like time to float. It's like, get up and go. Woohoo! I love that, when he just starts shredding, I'm like, yeah. It just amazes me, This is the first guy that I've ever let do a guitar solo, in my bands. You know what I mean? Because usually they're just like, this guy does like Mozart. It's just amazing, and people just eat it up, So, the band is full of really, really talented veterans, and, I didn't want to get a band of a bunch of young kids,
Right.
And I'm looking like that could be their dad, I didn't want to do that, I wasn't worried about what the band looked like, Of course you don't want like a bunch of fat guys with mustaches on their forehead, or unibrows or something, But, you want to find people that, are really good players, and that are in good shape, because, touring takes a lot out of you, even if you're just doing the weekend stuff. The flights, and the layovers, and you got to get there 2 hours early, and the lack of sleep. God, it's horrific. People don't even get the rigors of touring, People just, it must be so much fun all the time, just playing and playing and playing. Yeah, that's the fun part.
Right.
That's the hour and a half, 2 hours where we're actually enjoying ourselves,
Right, it's
the rest of it is work. That's the work, You're sitting in a chair for 5-6 hours. Oh, my back is killing me. Oh, God. No, you can't get up. I got to get up. No. Oh, come on. No. I'm getting up. I don't care. I got to stretch myself out, dude. I'm 4 inches shorter than I used to be. You don't even get it.
Now, this record, there's some of the songs that are obviously personal, touch on certain challenges that you've had, maybe, substance abuse being one of them. Take us through a song like My Addiction, what it means to you.
Well, my addiction is, I try to be more and more transparent with every record.
Okay.
I want people to know who Jack Russell is. Love it or leave it, whatever. I just want them to know who I am as intimately as possible. To use a word, slightly out of context. But that song for me was, a farewell to a lifestyle I've been living for a long time, and it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing. It was my reality, but before I wrote it, after it was my reality before I wrote the song.
Okay.
And, I wrote it about where I was at that time. It wasn't that bad, towards the end, but I would have, points where I would drink for a week, just go out and have a couple beers, like big, huge, tall beers, guzzle them in the parking lot, come back to my wife. Oh, hey, she never knew, because I could really mask if I'm drunk on beer. You put the hard stuff in me, it's like, wow, everybody can tell from a mile away,
Right.
And, for instance, the last night I drank was, I had been drinking beers during the day, telling my wife, I got to go to the store. I got to go do this. I got to do that. And every time I, guzzled 2 or 3 huge beers in the parking lot before I came back home. And, so I was pretty loaded, and John Dawkins wanted to meet with me at the restaurant, the Cheesecake Factory, right near where I live. And so I get down there, and I'm waiting for like an hour, and I'm taking this time to absorb massive Mai Tais, about as big as your head, and they're full of just like 3 different liquors, and they are strong, and my bartender makes them really strong. And I had drank about 5 of them by the time Don got there, plus, numerous beers during the day. And I was pretty well lit. And John and I started drinking Mai Tais. And what my bartender tells me is, like, we were doing, like, a concert, man. We were playing air guitar, and we're singing in the songs. And he's always awesome, man. It was, like, just like the end of the concert. I go, oh, yeah, awesome. I go, I remember just falling off the bar stool over and over and over again. And him telling me, dude, you got to get out of here. They're going to call the cops on you. I go, okay. So Don took me home. And I don't remember anything else. Apparently, John dropped me off in my boat, and my wife got me in and got me into our bed. And the next morning, she couldn't wake me up. So somehow she gets me out of bed, gets me up the stairs and in and onto the back deck, up the stairs, down the other stairs onto the dock, and there's a wheelchair that we had sitting there for months and months and months that we hadn't returned when I tore my Achilles tendon. And thank God it was there. My wife had to wheel me up to the car and put me in. She took me to the emergency room, and they put me right into the ICU. My liver was shutting down. And I was in a coma for 5 days. And when I woke up, all my friends were there. There was a guy from Chicago that flew in, and Dan was there, and it was just really freaky. And I'm like, what happened? She goes, well, Jack, you almost died. Your liver shut down. And it was almost completely, you were as close as you've ever been. And I've been close before, And the doctor came in, and he's like, I heard you're some kind of celebrity. I said, well, some people think so. And he's like, well, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter to me who you are, but what does matter to me is your life. He goes, I'm going to tell you something, you're not going to like it. But I'm going to be honest with you, and you need to take this literally, and you need to hear what I'm telling you. He goes, your wife told me how you drink, and I'm telling you right now, you will not survive one more time, because your liver will not take one more time. And I'm not saying you might die, you could die, you will die if you drink again. And I was like, okay, I got you. And since then, I have not taken a drink, nor will I ever, because I know what's going to happen. And I believe it to the depth, to the bottom of my soul, that he wasn't giving me a little scare tactic.
Right.
I mean, I get it. It's like me picking up a revolver with 6 bullets in it and playing Russian roulette. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to stick my hand in the nest of cobras. I'm not going to walk out in front of a bus. It might as well. It's going to be the same result. I mean, even AA says, there's only 3 ends to the road. It's like jail, destitution, or death. Well, I won't make it to jail. I won't make it to an institution. It's just straight to death. So I'm done.
Good. I'm glad.
And it's good. I feel great, and my life is, really, really been better for it. Our relationship with my wife's a lot better. Not that it wasn't great to begin with, but,
right.
It definitely, I'm a better person when I'm sober,
Sure, absolutely.
I used to be fun, I used to be fun, laughing all the time, and then I became this angry drunk, It's really strange. I found myself, the more I drank, I just got angry. And I didn't like that. That's not who I am.
Right. Well, it definitely can change you, and I'm glad that you're on this end of it now, and things are looking
Thank you.
Looking well.
It's good to be on the green side of the grass,
Absolutely. Now, let's talk on a little lighter note. You've got some dates coming up for tours. I know you got the M3 Rock Festival, so can you fill us in on a little bit of that?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite shows, actually. Our manager is part owner of that. We get on there not because of him, because his partner is like really anti-Jack Russell, just because the guy, he thinks that my manager is trying to get us on there for his own benefit.
Right.
And he goes, no, look, we did a poll. Look, we did this poll. 68% of the people wanted Jack Russell back. He said the numbers aren't lying. The numbers don't lie.
Right.
So he finally acquiesced to bring us back again. He's not like he doesn't like the band. He just thought my manager was being, duplicitous or something.
Sure. Well, if the fans want you there, and we do, so we're glad that you're on the bill this year.
Yeah, I am too. It's going to be a really good show. I mean, this band is I must say, it's a really, really fun band to watch. I wish I could see us, But, I mean, we have a really good time, and it's authentic, It's not like we're up there, we're smiling at each other. It's not like, okay, remember to smile, It's not that. If I start laughing, it's because I'm genuinely laughing because I'm just having such a great time that a smile just doesn't do it,
Right. Well, that's awesome. Now, you got this fantastic record that just came out today, and everybody can catch you out on the road when you hit their town this spring and summer, and everything's looking up for you, and I wish you the best of luck with all of it.
Thank you, Donna. I really appreciate it, and thank you for taking your time.
Oh, absolutely.
And, I hope you enjoy the record,